Hey, my name is PolishLynx, welcome to some more irae. And yeah, we are back. Wilhelm, Shiro, let's go. Let's go and see how this fight goes. The bullet hit Wilhelm into the chest, followed rapidly by an explosion. That was not to say the bullet itself exploded, but rather a certain something planted at Wilhelm's chest. The object in question, sitting in a thermos at a freezing minus 197 Celsius degrees, was liquid nitrogen, turning him into an ice sculpture in the blink of an eye. This was Shiro's trump card. Swords, guns, and fists meant nothing to Wilhelm's menacing body, but what of cellular destruction through chemicals? Nice! Acid was still unreliable, while sarin gas would be too risky for Shiro. He might have been reckless beyond precedent, but that didn't mean he went out of his way to die. He may have had a shit happens kind of attitude to the whole deal, but he'd only let that come into play once he'd tried everything else humanly possible. He couldn't let himself die before accomplishing his goal. Nice. In other words, he could at least tell a dumb plan from a good one. He might choose the former depending on the situation, but he could still make the distinction. And so, he chose to go with liquid nitrogen, anything worked for a thermal attack, so after taking power, effectiveness, availability, and portability into consideration, he felt it more desirable to utilize a cold substance over a hot one. And naturally, liquid nitrogen was one of the coldest substances known to man. His plan entailed freezing the target then. The 1800cc engine displacement of Shiro's beloved Valkyrie ran roared to life, spewing steel exhaust from the 350 kg plus flat 6 monster of an engine. All of this had gone according to plan. Shiro accelerated his motorcycle to tremendous speed, sprang up the front wheel and smashed the ice sculpture that was Wilhelm into a million of pieces. Or at least he should have. He made a skillful rear wheel spin turn after racing 50 meters away. Shiro stared at a part of the ice, twinkling like diamond dust, with a complex look on his face. You know, I've actually started by myself Bioshock 2 Remastered, because I don't need to record it kind of as I played Bioshock 2 on the channel, and there is the possibility to do that as well, right? You can freeze your opponents. Pretty cool. I like this actually option. Okay, no one pursued him, it sure seemed that way. Wilhelm simply kept standing there, completely unharmed. The low temperature and the impact didn't even hurt him, crushing only his overcoat, thus exposing his bare upper body to the moonlight. He didn't give a chase. His opponent may have been riding a motorcycle, but Wilhelm could have easily caught up to him in no time flat. Yet he remained still, gazing fixedly at a certain spot. He hadn't forgotten about Shiro. Rage, delight, and humiliation burned bright in his twisted heart, even now. But an abnormal event dwarfing all that had just occurred, and he wouldn't ignore it in favor of chasing some impudent prey. No one could. For all members of the Obsidian Round Table knew what this feeling was. In an event that could only be described as abnormal, Wilhelm's porcelain skin began to bleed, accompanied by intense pain. For it was the mark of submission, vivid proof of his first defeat, as well as his allegiance. In other words, a sign that the one who carved that mark would soon descend. Wilhelm narrowed his eyes, struggling to suppress a chuckle.
了解しましたよ。ただ今こんななりなんで、俺がご尊顔を廃止立てまつんのはまた後日っちゅうことで。クリストフの野郎、相変わらずえげつねえ真似しやがるが。レオン死ぬんじゃねえか、腰抜かしてよ。
And with that he vanished. The night was heavy with an inexplicable and overwhelming pressure. Like the very heavens could fall at any moment. To describe it as the calm before the storm, the stillness before the end would be most apt. My pathetic lack of defense had been punished by a blow to the solar plexus. The urge to vomit assailed me as I was sent flying backwards, and though I managed to land safely, I was now down on my knees, unable to get back up.
さて、ようやくおとなしくなりましたね、藤井さん。すぐには動けぬでしょうから、しばしいい子にしていなさい。
ゲイか。
ああ、あなたもですよ、レオンハルト。そう無駄に恐縮する必要はない。命令はそれを告げた者が責任を負う。あなたが悪いわけではないのだから。私が悪く、そして相手が悪かったのです。気に病むことはありません。不服でも？
いえ、申し訳ありませんでした。
Sakurai hung her head, uttering the phrase without the slightest hint of emotion before taking a step back to silently stand at attention. Their hierarchical relationship seemed quite evident. Sakurai was treating Father Defies as superior. As for him...
ああ、ですから、そういう杓子定規な対応をせずとも良いと言っているのに、困りましたね。
He, and it really was him, god damn it, addressed Sakurai with the same old unreliability, broad smile and gentle tone I had come to know him for, acting as her superior. I felt sick as the pain in my stomach had been reinvigorated by another kind of agony. Would I really have to fight him? And if that wasn't enough...
まあここはあなたの理解を得られただけでもよしとしておきましょうか。藤井、それで聞いていると思いますが、私はあなたにお会いしてこのように語り合う場を持ちたかった。その内容は他でもない我々共通の隣人について率直に答えていただきたい。あなたはテレジアを愛していますか？
何？ Say what? Where did that come from? She was someone I needed desperately to know more about, yet wanted to avoid bringing up at all costs. Theresia, in other words, Himura. Oh man. No, that's problematic.
愛だと？
ええ。あなた方の仲がいいのは知っています。友人とも、あるいはそれ以上とも。お互い憎からず思い合っているのでしょ？ならば、個人的に興味が尽きない。
Don't listen to him. No, what? I maybe listen because I have a bad feeling about what he's you know, thinking about.
あなた、大義や名分が立てば、テレジアさえ殺すつもりでいるのですか？
はい。
あなたは私を憎みつつある。殺す大義を見つけつつある。そうですよ、あなたは正しい。私は害しか及ぼしません。少なくともあなたにはね。ならば結構、敵、すなわち撃滅すべし。その至極簡単な公式をあなたは彼女にも当てはめますか？すでに殺人には手を染めたでしょう。経験者として言いますが、一人殺せば止まりませんよ。
What are you talking about? Is that true? I doubt it.
と言います。今答えなさい。あなたはあのテレジアを殺さないのか殺すのか。
俺は
Still crouched and clawing at the asphalt, I looked up and bellowed with anger. I was an idiot, a fool, an imbecile, a brat, and an incompetent kid who didn't know a goddamn thing. I wasn't even sure if I'd live to the end of this, and I'd be full of myself to think I could protect and save someone. Yet even now, I remember those days. And humor was naturally a part of the day-to-day life I meant to reclaim. I wasn't gonna listen to anyone grouping her together with these tricks.
俺は絶対お前たちに負けたりしない。たとえ何がどうなろうと、俺があの人を殺すなんて。
There was only one thing I could say. Father Duke can't even consider. Okay, isn't like it's like the same. God damn it. Alright, if we say we'll never do, I guess I don't know. I will never do. Well, sure, but that would mean triggering her root, I guess. Can't even consider. That's also can't. God damn it. Game, do you really seriously have to put me to choices like that? But no, okay. The first option, I believe, will trigger the Himuro root eventually, or basically, because of the previous choices, might not trigger any of the choices and basically lead to the bad ends, if there is any. And I believe there will be, if their choices are not correct. So, let's go here.
考えられない。そんなことはありえない。
Right after I declare that. Father Trifa broke out into a muddy cackle, his body shaken and twisted with each new fit of laughter.
なるほど、そうですか。これは、なんともはや勇ましい。負けぬと、勝つと言いますか。この私に、我々に、あなたが、愛を信じて、打倒すると、なんて眩しい。美しく羨ましく妬ましく愚かしい。実に至高。さすがはさすが。副首領閣下は愛も変わらず供しておられる。ああ、よくわかりましたよ。理解しました。それがあなたで偽りないと。ではならば、彼の言葉をお聞きになりましたか？我が主。
For a minute I felt captivated by Father Trifa's manners, but at the same time I came to realize something. In other words, who the abnormal gaze I'd been feeling on my skin these past few minutes belonged to.
これがあなたの盟友が大体サラトゥストラですよ。ハイドリン秘境。
The moment he uttered that word, the very canopy of the heavens appeared to tremble in response. An overwhelming pressure seized me, threatening to crush my bare bones, almost like the skies themselves had fallen. I found myself pinned to the ground, unable to move as cracks ran through the asphalt around me. The bridge and the sea below howled. Thousands of tons of steel and concrete rent asunder by the very presence of that certain being.
率直なご感想をお尋ねしたくありますね。どうでした？悪くない。
Only Father Trifa remained detached from the pressure ravaging Sakura and me. A voice echoed from above him. A grand whirlpool of God, or perhaps the hell? The projection began to take form before my eyes, assuming the shape of a man. A man of such tall stature I probably have to look high up to see him, even if I was standing. His physique appeared quite proportionate, as well almost like it represented the golden mean of the human body. His golden locks, like a terrible mane behind him, dancing wildly in the night air, his features beautiful enough to drive one to suicide. His physical build exhibited no flaws whatsoever. His narrow slits revealed a pair of golden eyes gazing calmly upon the world below, their glimmer the light of hellfire. I had no doubt in mind that this guy was those bastards.
私はラインハルト。
I could recall that there was a man by that name known as the Totenkopf's Black Prince and the Hangman.
清掃13騎士団国安卓第1位ハガルヘルツォークラインハルト・トリスタン・オイゲン・ハイドリヒ
Never heard of you, sorry.
メフィストフェレスなどと K の演者に祝福された曰く悪魔のような男らしいよ
Reinhard Hendrik, the true commander of the Obsidian Round Table. His advent left me thoroughly paralyzed. But an unexpected or perhaps planned turn of events suddenly intervened, shattering the status quo. And it really that no one, not even myself, expected cleave through the darkness, becoming a dazzling light bulb in the wake of roaring exhaust.
レイこのバカ野郎気合い入れろ
As merciless and disparaging his words may have been, they filled me with renewed vigor, breathing fresh life into my mind before it could fall into collapse.
ほう
これはこれは
Determined not to lose to the monster's pressure, I looked up, put my hands on the ground and pushed up with all my might. If I mastered every fiber of my being to strike away this fear, I could counter his pressure. If a human like Shiro could do it, there was no way in hell I couldn't.
引くぞ乗れ
Shiro sped down from the opposite lane, cleared the separate half of the bridge and landed right next to me. Just as I grabbed hold of his outstretched hand, he pulled me to the back seat with surprising strength.
生きてるかなんとか
But that was my limit. I had no strength to maintain a proper conversation.
よっしゃ振り落とされんなよ
Perhaps he was in a similar position to my own. He went into full throttle right away without sparing Reinhard father if a single glance or word. The Valhalla, or was it Valkyrie? Anyway, the motorcycle rocked with an explosion for a roar. All we had to do was to retreat at full speed. If I got into a fight with that thing, I would have been blown to smithereens, even if there were 100 of me. He was not an opponent I could take, and there was no chance at revenge waiting after certain death. I couldn't beat him, at least not now. Not yet. He was not an opponent I could topple. I looked down, letting my feeble complaints melt into the whir of the engine. I wasn't trying to take those bastards lightly, and I thought I'd have prepared myself for anything thrown at me. It was like I actually defeated Sakurai Rohan, and I didn't know if I even could, but I had the means to at least engage them in battle. Yet I lost my cool mere seconds after Father Trifa's arrival, and got entirely too worked up at the mere mention of Humor's name. Then after all that, Reinhard.
何あれ俺の金玉縮み上がったぞ
Shiro cleared the bridge in a blink of an eye and spoke up once he'd confirmed that no one was following us.
いやマジちょっとちびったっつーの
I was over here wallowing in shame and expression, yet this guy...
実は俺もだあマジで汚すなようるせえ仕方ないだろバカスミに笑われるぜだからお前は
Before I could finish, it hit me just how utterly silly the whole thing was. Until a short while ago, we'd been worrying about whether or not we'd die, and now, goddammit, this was really fucking stupid. Finally, a laughter that is not freaking terrible. We got scared and ran away with our tails between our legs, but fuck it, we are still alive. True, it may have looked like an utter defeat on the outside, but when considering that we survived such a dangerous experience, it could definitely be counted as a victory. It wasn't mere luck. We could proudly declare that our very own efforts helped us live through the night. So...
お前だってちびってるくせにカッコつけんなバカアホ俺はクールに報告したからいいんだよあとキャラ的に実はお前和ますために嘘を言ったとかそういう見方してくれっかもしんないだろ誰にだよ誰ってほら世のお姉さん方だよわけわかんねえよ相変わらず
And well, he did actually save my life today. Putting aside all the trouble he dragged into in the past, I now felt grateful to him.
これでちった気が変わったか ああ。っていうかもう、いやおうないだろう。ご名答。じゃあま、コンビ再結成ってことで。命名、チーム、ベアボルフ。いい感じじゃね？ドイツ語的に。
That sounded horrible. Actually, it was pretty good. If possible, I would have liked to avoid anything German sounding in the moment, for obvious reasons.
俺はおまけか？だってそうだろ？お前がおまけだ。はあ？何言ってんすか？
We race down the moonlit highway having a little childish argument. We are fleeing like a pair of cowards, but at the very least, we had this brief moment of respite. In hindsight, we fled for a reason, to build up and gather our strength for the next confrontation. Breaking his gaze from the gradually fading taillights, the priest stared to the figure beside him. The Reinhardt headhunting standing next to him was but an illusion, a false image, even a quick glance revealed it to be transparent. Afterwards, he was a shade of his true self that wouldn't last more than a handful of minutes at best. Despite that, the boy was too much even for his current state.
ご不満ですか？ハイドリヒ教。
The priest posed a respectful question towards his lord.
K は私の言葉を聞いていなかったのか、生産杯。悪くないと先ほど言ったばかりであろうが。ですが、ご満足はしておられぬご様子。
For not with perfect clarity, Trifa could understand his master to a certain degree. At the very least, he knew that an aunt like himself was no prey for the lion of Reinhardt headhunting.
わかるか？
Reinhardt gave Trifa a sidelong glance alongside a sneer, to which the latter replied with a nod, direct not to look his master in the eye.
いくらか脅せば、もう一化けするかとも思ったがな。まあよい。確かに K の進言通り、いささか私が請求だった。引き続き遊ぶがよい。蝶の空とやら飛ぶがよかろう。私は K の正義を見届ける。では。あ、だがな。
The golden beast stopped the priest just as the latter turned to leave. There was no meaning to direction as far as continuing the conversation was going to end, but there was still a meaning to stopping there. First Rengar remained prostrated at his feet, her gaze fixed on the ground. Kesa felt thoroughly overwhelmed by the stark difference between her power and that of the beast, and too she came to feel the very dread that the others had already known these past 60 years. Reinhardt displayed neither contempt nor concern for her puny, trembling figure. He merely passed through her, quite literally, while addressing the priest, regarding her the same way one would a pebble on the sidewalk.
一つ命令だ。カインを起こせ。
What meaning did those words ultimately carry? Kay's trembling case for a heartbeat, only to return again, albeit somewhat differently.
カインを？なぜ？得意の開逆か、生産杯。ならば、これはヴァルキュリアにそういないと？ああ、いえ、これは報告が遅れまして申し訳ありません。それはレオンハルト、ヴァルキュリア、キルヒアイゼン教は見まかられましたゆえ、私めが補充した次第にございます。長女、ならばこそだ。K も励むがいい、レオンハルト。
はっ。
Reinhardt walked past the prostrate Kay and the expressionless priest with a cozy smile. His silhouette began to grow dim, melting away to darkness. Yet moments before the golden afterglow could disperse for good.
楽しませろよ、生産杯。K の手並みに期待しよう。
And with that, he vanished without a trace.
やれやれ。
Once a handful of seconds had passed, Trifa shrugged, breathing a heavy sigh.
相変わらず心臓に悪い。肝が凍るし肩も凝る。まったく健康に悪いお方ですよ。本当に。
The crushing sense of oppression, constantly emitted by the beast, had completely faded. This was likely a sign that he had withdrawn for the time being. However,
まあ、お立ちなさい、レオンハルト。ああ、立てませんか。どれ。
he approached the pitifully prostrating girl, took her by the arm, and brought her to her feet.
見たでしょう。あれがハイドリ秘境です。
Kay hanged her head without uttering a single word. She was trying her best to remain calm, yet it was quite clear that she had suffered an extraordinary shock. Trifa placed a hand upon her hair like a compassionate father.
恥じることはありません。我々は皆そうです。私も、ベイも、マレウスも、キルヒアイゼン教やザミエル教、そしてシュライバー教に至るまで、彼と初めて会った時は強行してひざまずいた。
違う。
The priest nodded, his gentle features contorting ever so slightly. Though his affirmation could be considered a show of disrespect towards his lord and master, there was no one here who could deny him. Or perhaps anywhere in the world?
世の中には最初から違うものがごく少数。しかし確実に存在すると私は思っているのです。彼は中でも徹底してそうなのでしょうね。副首領閣下もまたしかり。我々にとって神とは祈るものですが、あなた方にとっては祭り、鎮めるものでしょう。つまり、お願いだから暴れてくれるな、そうしたものだと思いなさい。
ですが。
The priest's words were brimming with affection, but Kay rebuked them. She fully understood what the priest implied, sympathizing with the idea that gods needed to be appeased. Monotheism amounted to no more than blind faith akin to intoxication.
ですが、実際に我々はハイドリ秘境を信じ祈らねばならないのでしょう。そうしなければ。
ああ、ですから、要は加減ですよ。バランスです。言ったでしょう。臨機応変。あまり真面目に考えていては、先ほどのように息もできなくなりますよ。調子よく逃げたベイや、そもそも気もしなかったマレウスらの賢明さを学びなさい。ともかく、逃げ遅れた我々は、せねばならぬこともありますしね。
はい。
Kay nodded, withholding her pure question. She felt like she ended up playing right into his hands, but there were no lies in his words. They indeed had things of vital importance to take care of.
では、一足先に戻りなさい。そして、バビロンにその旨伝えておくように。まあ、以心伝心。言われるまでもなくそうしているとは思いますがね。どうしました？行きなさい。
わかりました。
Kay nodded again before making her soundless exit. Once the girl was out of sight, the priest gave her a sigh.
だがさて、ハイドリ秘境。何を言わんとしておられたのか。
Who knows? Who knows? And who cares? Kay, Valkyria. He spoke as if he were implying something about them. Trifa wondered if Bernhard knew something he didn't. Still, the priest would not have been too surprised to have his schemes be discovered.
まあよい。楽しませよとおっしゃるならば、できうる限り励みましょう。それが私の務めです。しかし、とはいえ、いかがすればよいのやら。
Trifa muttered himself with a sense of prudence before beginning to walk off again. What the hell are you talking about? Do what? At any rate, he was relieved that they were all lucky enough to overcome that which may have been the first and greatest danger in this war. Okay, but seriously, what the hell? How should I go about doing it? Doing what? Trifa!
私の行いがいいわけなどありませんから。多分あなたのおかげなのでしょうね。藤井さん。
Okay, Trifa, you piece of shit. Tell me, what the hell
その一点については同志ということ。機会が許せば乾杯したいところですよ。
No thanks, not interested. Secretly, and they would know the I'm sure heartfelt laugh. If matters ever settled themselves as such that A day like that truly came to pass. It would doubtless prove to be the most beautiful moment in the priest's life. Alright. Kind. Yeah, Shambhala, 9 out of 13. Where is that kind guy, Mephistopheles? Tubal Kain is number 2? Oh shit. Well, if he's number 2, that's kind of dangerous. If I don't think that's the correct order here, I mean, come on. Sakurai would be number 5. No, I don't believe that. Sorry, Maleus is... So basically Rusalka is definitely more powerful. So that doesn't make sense. Well, whatever. Swastika to update. Chapter 6, Lord of the End. Lord of the End, right. Lord of the Dead. And, alright, let's actually end it here. For once, I will end the episode when the chapter is finished. And we'll be in the new chapter. In the new episode. For now, hope you enjoyed it and see you tomorrow in the next one. Bye bye.